Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's a bright and early morning as we hit the high banks of Daytona for the 24 hours of Daytona as the Conliff eSports team is out on their qualifying run this morning. Good morning, Manny. How are you, buddy? Hope everybody is having a great day and ready for a great morning of racing, as this will be the first couple of hours of the Conliff eSports team. But as always, we'll keep providing updates on Facebook and Instagram, likely on Twitter as well. Hope everybody is ready for a great morning of racing, and based on what we saw in practice, that first couple laps is going to get wild. This is one of the first events where the Conliff eSports team has been on track with all three classes. Certainly last season here at Daytona, we saw them only on track with the GT3 cars, making things a little bit safer. But this morning they'll have the GT3s, the LMPs, and the GTP out on track. And of course, the GT3 class being the slowest class out here. As one of the drivers mentions, they may be cannon fodder for some of the other cars out here this morning. Drivers are out on track qualifying. You see the lap times coming in quickly. Avery Walker will be leading off for the team this morning. He is out on the qualifying lap now, trying to get the best possible starting position for their team, as turn one is likely to be a little bit chaotic today. Now, of course, they do have 24 hours to run. We'll have the first two and the last 2 hours of the event as Avery completes his qualifying run. We'll take a look at some of the other drivers as they go out on their qualifying. Most of the field actually winding down their qualifying runs now. Definitely going to be a lot of fun, but a lot of stress, especially this first couple of hours, that Avery will be behind the wheel. Adam Barker will take the car for the second run, then Nick Sorensen, followed by Max Gunther, Avery Walker. Simon Zierk and Adam Barker will have the final runs tomorrow morning. And in about 5.5 hours, they do anticipate having some rain on the track. It might be a light rain. And definitely any rain on the high banks is going to make things interesting as qualifying is winding down. Folks, it's almost time to go racing here at Daytona. You might want to get settled in. Things are about to heat up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Daytona. All the drivers take to the grid out on the back straightaway. GT3 cars are in the GTP cars are in the yellow, but the car we're looking for is the pink GT3 car getting down here into the GT3s. Avery Walker qualified 14th in class. We'll see how far he can get it up there early on. Hey, good morning, Yannick. All the drivers getting gridded up. Looks like a couple of GT3 teams have not gridded. Quite a few GTPs have not gridded yet. And a couple of the LMPs have not gridded yet either. Definitely expecting to see some chaos in the early going here. Especially once those GT3s and LMPs get back around to the GT3 class. Things will really start to heat up then. Looks like just about everybody on the grid as they get ready to go. And it does look like they are starting to roll off up at the front. All of the GTPs are away. Now the LMPs will start rolling momentarily. There they go. Avery Walker in the Conliff eSports BMW back in the middle of that pack as the GT3 cars start rolling. There is Avery in the red and white Conliff eSports BMW. The green flag has flown up at the front and everybody drops into line and heads for turn one. So far, not seeing any problems in turn one, but the LMPs have just arrived. And right next to Avery, we've got cars blinking. A few cars off track in turn one. Avery still rolling. And a little bit of a glitch already this morning. Avery's starting to try and make his way up through the field. He's dropped back to 15th for the moment. And folks, stick with us for just a moment. Not the first time we have run into this problem with the endurance racing. event of the endurance racing year. Does make things a little bit interesting when the field gets out on track. All right, we are back. Avery currently runs in 15th in GT3. All the GT3 drivers back out on the banking. Just a couple minutes into it. So far, the GT3s are all alone. But you can see the faster classes starting to catch up. The strategy this morning, as always, is the fuel conservation, hoping they can extend and get one less pit stop throughout this race. Hey, good morning, Dying Soul. How are you, buddy? Side-by-side action just ahead of Avery. One spins out behind him. The team was not concerned with the early laps here in the GT3 class. They can make up ground over the next 24 hours. The concern was when the GTPs and LMPs get caught up to them, things are going to get a bit chaotic. Really surprised to see one of the new Mustangs in the field. Only two Mustangs on track this morning. They do have that problem lacking in rear grip. Avery has to have that late rear grip problem in his head as he follows that Mustang around at the moment. The choice of going to the BMW was not made until 2 days ago. The car choice was still on the fence. As the overall leader up front in the GTP has started to get into the back of the GT3 field. These cars obviously extremely fast and a ton of downforce and grip, and often known for not having a ton of patience when they get around the slower cars. Their best chance to pass these GT3s will be on the high banks, the back straightaway. And coming out of the bus stop, however, trying to pass in the infield is where we always see some problems. Now, if you missed it, we have a lot of groups from the HTSAI community in the event this morning in different splits, and some that started last night. They have all been posting on our Facebook. We made a post last night for these guys, and here they come, the leaders shooting by the GT3 class. 3 wide through the banks. That got spicy. And they are stacked up 4 cars deep. 2 by 2, nose to tail, side by side as they go off into turn 1. Avery manages to clear 1 and a GTP up top. Several of them trying to make their way by. Flashing their lights at the GT3s, letting them know they won't by. This is where things could get tricky. Wow, that got a bit exciting coming out of the first horseshoe. And whoa, we got a GTP dives to the inside on Avery. A couple of them make that move. Not a lot of patience from these faster cars as they come through the field, but Avery is holding on to it cleanly so far. The LMP still back behind the GT3 field. Things will get even more spicy as they come down toward the bus stop. Several shoot to the inside into the bus stop. Things getting really tight. Mid-pack for the GT3s. But I am seeing a lot more patience than what we expected here in the early going. Great job by all the drivers here. Avery making a move on the high side on that Mustang. He's going to take it into 1. That Mustang shoots a little bit deep. Avery comes out ahead and ends up picking up a couple of spots, jumps to 13th. Now that the traffic is really starting to mix up, this is where all the drivers really have to be on their toes. Thankfully, the Conliff team has multiple people in Discord. They can watch multiple sectors on the track at once, keep their team alerted to where trouble is and where it's coming from. Very few incidents so far this morning. Most of the field keeping it very, very clean. Most of the issues we have seen so far have just been drivers losing grip or over driving, sliding off track. I've seen several go off in turn 1 so far. Avery gets a run on the high side on the Porsche. The Porsche does have a lot more maneuverability but lacks the straight line speed. Does look like the Porsche had about 1% of its power removed for the race. The biggest balance of power for this one, though, the Corvette lost 1.75% of its power. That balance of power does keep things very, very close for the drivers. Hey, good morning, Dazzy. Expect to see the Conliff eSports website updated hopefully very soon. Conliff-racing.com. We do expect to see that updated with their 2025 events. No big changes. Holy cow! That Mustang got way deep into turn one. Almost got into Avery's bumper. That was a pretty close call. Expect to see a few more of those before this group spreads out more. A bit of a battle right behind Avery is giving him some breathing room, but the Mustang still holds off the Porsche. It's interesting that the Porsche had a bigger balance of power for this event than the Ford did. The Ford only losing about 0.25% of its power, the Porsche losing 1% of its power. Avery on the attack, finally starting to make some moves. They are 3 wide through NASCAR, 3 and 4. Avery makes the move up into 12th as they go 3 wide behind. This could be a problem going into turn one. We've got one car already on pit road. They're 3 wide back behind. Avery sets up wide for turn one. The Porsche looks to the inside. Whoa, close call and a little bobble by Avery coming out of turn one, but he pulls back ahead. Does end up losing a spot to the Porsche, rather. Not far behind, the LMP field has started to mix into the GT3s. To give you an idea of the difference in speed, Avery's fastest lap was 145.62. The fastest LMP, a 137.4. Big difference there, but then you go to the GTP, the fastest lap so far, 130.98. 15 seconds a lap faster. Three cars with that big of a difference in speed on track together can create a bit of chaos. As we look at our current overall leader, Mark Hiley, Mark in that GTP. He is in the new Acura. Has been storming around the field all morning long. One of the few times those cars will have clean air. Meanwhile, Avery Walker sits in 13th after Jay Wheeler took 2nd. Here comes an LMP coming by in the mix. And more of them coming out of the bus stop. As they get mixed in, coming toward turn 1, this is where things tend to get a little bit hairy. This is why the spotters for these teams are so crucial here today. The drivers definitely need somebody looking out who's coming behind and who is having problems up ahead. We've got one of the GT3s off track ahead. Everybody makes it through clear on that. As this race cycles through, there will be times where GT3, LMP, and GTP are all coming through the same corners together. When you see those battles in the infield, the drivers are definitely a bit worried. Anything can go wrong. Let's ride along with a couple of drivers, starting with, we'll take a lap in the Conliff eSports BMW. Across the start-finish line, heading down into turn 1, the faster car up top shoots by everybody. The car ahead with the note, "Don't touch me, please." Down into the kink, onto the second horseshoe. Wow, and the faster cars just cutting through everywhere. That is where the chaos really happens, and there's always an argument after this race between the faster car drivers and the GT3 drivers on who should move in. Man, it'll be heated in some of the iRacing groups this week. Down the back straightaway. Whoa! Into the bus stop, the trickiest part of this track. So easy to go off track and lose a lot of time through that sector. Then through NASCAR 3 and 4. And back across the start-finish line. Oh, Avery's around. He gets hit from behind. He gets hit again. He's stuck up against the wall. Heavy traffic coming by. He does get the car rolling. And gets it turned. No, he has towed it in. Take a look at this one from the blimp. Avery gets down in there deep. He has to slam the brakes on. The car behind just gets him. They stack up, but with so much traffic, they couldn't get moved. Have to wait for a clear spot in the track. Finally getting by. Gets out there and tows it in. Still on pit road, Avery likely has repairs. Remember, in this event, they do not have fast repairs available. We'll get an update from the team here in a few moments, but we're going to ride along. Hey, good morning, Manny. Once he gets back to the start-finish line, we'll take a ride on board with our current leader. You'll definitely be able to tell after riding a lap with Avery just how much faster these cars are. And let's hop on board with our leader. Out of NASCAR 3 and 4 down to the start-finish line. Across the start-finish line, down into turn 1. You see ahead where they come off the banking, that wide arc into 1. Through the little S, down into the first horseshoe. Quickly back on the power. Remember, these cars have the most power and downforce. Through the kink into the second horseshoe. Out of the horseshoe, a little twitchy there. Turns back out onto the banking. These cars feel like you're running a high-speed go-kart. Through NASCAR 1 and 2, bringing the car up to full speed. GT3 car up ahead. We'll see how much he gains on it. Into the bus stop. High speed, high downforce, and already to the back of the Ferrari. Out of the bus stop into NASCAR 3 and 4. And out of NASCAR 4, looks like a Porsche ahead he'll quickly get to. And across the line, he did that last lap at a 131.21. Hey, good morning, Duchess. Avery still sits on pit road for the moment. They're losing a lot of time here due to that early incident, but remember, no fast repairs this morning. Does look like they're going to try and get the car fixed and back out on the track. Trying to get a closer look and see how bad the car is. Let's see if we can talk to one of the team. See if we can get a quick word with one of the drivers, Max Gunther, and see how bad the car is. Hey, Max, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, we saw the incident just a moment ago. How bad is the car?
It's 40 minutes of required repairs.
Ouch. So will the team be able to get back out?
I think so. I mean, 40 minutes in a 24-hour race is not that big. It still can happen a lot, but I think we will be several. I think 10 laps down is realistic. It's gonna be hard.
Well, it was definitely a rough incident, and obviously a big setback here this morning. Realistically, once you're back out, how far up through the field can you get? Right now, you've dropped back to 22nd in class.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. Depends. I mean, 24 hours is a long time. A lot can happen, especially in multi-class racing, so I don't know.
We have seen a bit of chaos in the multi-class so far, so you guys definitely have an opportunity to pick up some ground here.
Yeah, I think so. Depending on who's also in the pits right now and who's quitting and not. Yeah, it's just, I think it's luck. It comes down to luck. But I think top 5 is not in scope anymore. Maybe top 12 if we're lucky. But let's see.
Well, man, good luck. Hopefully the car gets repaired quickly and we see you back out on track soon, buddy.
Thank you.
Good morning to all the LSW community. Thank you for dropping by. Obviously a big setback. This is the biggest setback we've ever seen for the Conliff eSports team, as we see the overall leader in the mix of all the GT3s at the moment. Does look like a couple more cars have had problems and gone to pit road. See if we can get a look at one of them. Looks like another incident headed into turn 1. Oh, they get together fairly in a big stack up. And they keep coming into one, and several wings fly off cars. Several of those cars did end up coming to pit road. All right, let's take a ride along with one of these drivers that had a problem coming through turn 1. You see, they're going so fast through that turn, there's just no time to react. Just over a 3.5 mile. Oh, the leader's in trouble. A little contact with a GT3. And there you can see the speeds that this top class is running. Hey, Yannick, give me a minute, buddy. 190 miles an hour coming into the bus stop. Comes back out and you see just the difference in pace the GT3s have, and how quickly these cars get back up to speed. He'll pick up a little draft off the car ahead. 195 as he comes across the start-finish line. 195 again as he heads off into turn one, that big arc. All three of the different classes have to take every turn a little different, which does give sometimes a little bit of room and sometimes no room at all. Let's take another look at the incident that impacted the Conliff eSports team. There's Avery in the Conliff eSports BMW off into turn one. Just got a big run in, but had to slam the brakes, got hit from behind, turned around. And because of the amount of traffic coming by, just could not get it moved. Two cars end up stuck there. They finally get it moving, and obviously some steering issues occurred on the BMW. A heartbreaking morning for this team. They have had a lot of top 5 finishes, but have yet to get the team into victory lane. Thought this morning might be the morning. Right now, the McLarens are leading in the GT3 field. The current leader up front. Let's take a look at his speeds as he comes through the infield, but more importantly, we'll see what kind of speeds he has out on the banking in comparison to what the faster cars were doing. Coming through the horseshoe as he heads back out toward the NASCAR 1 and 2. Back out onto the banking, starts coming up to speed, 145, 150. 160 as he gets down onto the flat back straightaway, continues to come up to speed. He might get a little bit of help on the draft, but then down into the bus stop. Back out of the bus stop at about 130 miles an hour. Meanwhile, the other cars going past are doing 180, tops at 160. .170 coming down the front straightaway. One looking like probably 175 into turn one. Over 15 miles an hour slower than the GTPs. Dazzy, this is the Daytona road course. Doing great, Luce. How are you? Avery still sits on pit road. Remember, a 40-minute repair as our first pit stops are actually underway at the moment. Looks like the LMPs are in and getting tires and fuel. Given the amount of time it takes these cars to get a full tank of fuel. Hey, good morning, Pudsey. given the amount of time it takes these cars to take fuel on, they can usually change all 4 tires in that time frame. We've given Avery a little bit of time to unwind and relax a little bit after the incident. Let's see if we can talk to him. Hey Avery, it's Doug, you got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Obviously not the way you wanted this one to start.
No, not at all. I would definitely not be hoping for like 15 minutes of setback right now. But
It does happen here at Daytona more than elsewhere. That turn 1 does get a bit brutal, and it looked like the car ahead just checked up far more than you expected.
yeah, that is what happened. I mean, I can't make any excuses. I drove into the back of him, so it's on me, and I'm very sorry to the team. If I were to make excuses, though, he was 15 miles an hour slower on the apex than normal, and I just I was not ready for that. And by the time I realized how slow he was, I couldn't stop.
Well, it definitely was. You had a great start and a great run going so far, but now with all the repairs remaining, you've got a lot of ground to make up. Will you be back in the car, or is it time for a driver switch when the car gets back out?
No, I'll keep going. I'll finish out like we planned. I've got about a minute left of repairs right now, and then I'll go out and I'll try and just, put laps away, and we'll see where we are.
Well, good luck. Looking forward to seeing you back out, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Sorry to everyone.
Avery obviously a little bit dejected this morning after that incident, but he is getting ready to come back off pit road. Currently 24th in class at the moment, but over the last few moments there have been a couple of incidents on track, so it could help the team fight back. Those McLarens up at the front of the GT3 field at the moment. McLaren did get a decent amount of balance of power on this. 0.5% of power reduction and 98% of the fuel load. In fact, interestingly, the only car without a balance of power change this morning is the BMW. And only, it looks like, 3 BMWs in the field this morning. Unfortunately, at the moment, only one of the BMWs in the top 10. As Avery rolls back out on track, the Conliff eSports team is back on the attack. Looking at the updated weather, it does look like the chance of rain will go up overnight. Could be by the time we come back tomorrow morning, they could very well be racing in the rain. Now the car back out on track. Will it have the same pace it had before? Good morning, Aiden. Keep an eye on Avery's lap times. Now he is several laps down to the rest of the field. Looks like about 10 laps down on the GT3 field. Definitely a bumpy start for the Conliff eSports team, a team that's used to finishing in the top 5 in these events. However, due to being on pit road this length of time, that will knock off one pit stop. Could help them make up a little bit of time, as most of the GT3 field should start hitting pit road in the next 10 minutes or so. Avery coming out of NASCAR 3 and 4. We'll see what kind of lap time he has now. After extensive repairs to the car, and only 0.2 of a second off his fastest lap, Avery ran a 1:45.61. His fastest lap, a 1:45.41. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we will be back for the final 2 hours of the race. A lot of racing going on tomorrow as we'll have GT3 and SS at 11 a.m. Eastern. BRR is back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, followed immediately by the SMRX series. And a lot of great YouTube shorts coming out over the next few days, including the return of trucking shorts. And later tonight, rumor has it the Unicorn will be performing surgery on Surgeon Simulator. That is one of the LMPs we saw involved in that earlier incident in turn 1. He's got the car repaired and back out on track, but has lost a ton of ground. And Avery now back in a mix of heavy traffic as a lot of fast cars about to come by. This is when he has the highest probability of problems. Wow, very close call coming out of the bus stop that time. It does appear once the car has been repaired, it is back to 100%. Adam Barker is scheduled to hop in the car next. Let's see if we can get a quick word with him. Hey Adam, it's Doug. You got me? Adam, it's Doug in the booth. You got me? It does appear Adam has stepped away, likely getting some last-minute rest before he hops into the car. Avery nowhere close to any other GT3s at the moment. Does give him a little bit of breathing room. However, does have a bunch of LMPs closing from behind. From the look of it, they will likely catch up to him during the infield. Through the first horseshoe. Surprisingly, I was about to say we haven't seen a problem in the kink, but I just saw one driver shoot through it. Watch this, the Ferrari of Max Mueller, gets a hit from one of the faster cars, just gets sent through the infield, tries to get it corrected, does get it recovered. If he had not got on the brakes when he did, he would have ended up hitting the same car that bumped him off the track. Avery still running 23rd in class. He is gaining ground on 21st and 22nd. However, both of them over 7 minutes ahead. And here come the LMPs, and they have obviously had no problem using the body a little bit this morning, as we've seen a couple of them knock GT3s off the track. There's the dive into the second horseshoe. Avery wisely sets up, takes the corner wide. It is a bit of a disconcerting feeling seeing the much faster cars closing in your mirror, going through that infield section. Thankfully, the Conliff team has 3 to 4 extra folks helping spot at any given time. And it does look like the GTPs are closing in as well, as most of the GT3 field has just come to pit road. Looks like several of them came by last lap. We'll see a few come off pit road this time. This could get a little messy. Avery has several cars closing up from behind, and a big gap closed as they come out of the second horseshoe. Back out onto the banking, and the much faster GTPs just start flying by. Few close calls in there, but everybody keeps making it through. Another large group of GT3 cars is on pit road or on their way back out. And it looks like a few driver changes in the field as well. Avery, by virtue of not having to make a stop, has closed up a little bit of time here. But this team definitely has a lot of work to do after the early incident. Up front in the GTP, the same driver still in the lead. Has now opened up a 4.5 second gap. Although it did get a little tricky as he came through the bus stop, as you just saw. He does finally get a brief respite as he gets some clean air. But that is not going to last long, as already sees the GT3 cars ahead. Including Avery Walker just ahead. A lot of heavy traffic for the overall leader. I can't say I've never driven one of the faster cars in an endurance race. I've always drove the GT3 and 1 year the GTE. I cannot imagine how stressful driving those faster cars is around here. You spend most of the morning just dodging other people. Avery does have a little drafting help now. And they are closing in on the next car up. Through the infield this time, they will have a lot more high-speed traffic coming from behind. Gotta hand it to the team. After 14 minutes of repairs, they have run some of their fastest laps. The car almost like new on track. The overall leader still way out front, extending his lead now to 5.7 seconds. Third place about 3 seconds back. The speeds they run through the infield, definitely extremely fast, and we've seen some very close calls out there. But now we're really starting to see a lot of debris buildup. Take a look as they come through the horseshoe. Up on the outside, you see a lot of debris up there. Could cause a lot of problems as the race goes on. As we found out since iRacing implemented the new debris model, that debris on track can cause a lot of grip problems and it can cause some damage issues on the car. One of the other GT3s has just had a huge problem. Oh, it's that same Ferrari we saw have a problem with coming through the infield a few moments ago. Just gets bounced around like a ping pong, quickly recovers but loses even more ground. That driver in the Ferrari currently sits 20th in the GT3 class. Avery now up into 23rd in GT3, but I have a feeling that Ferrari, the multiple incidents it has had, likely going to see it on pit road for significant repairs before long. Not sure how much longer, how much more that car can take. Heard Avery say he was going to stretch out and complete his run. Trying to look at the notes and see how many laps they expect per stint. Looks like 31, anywhere from 31 to 35 laps on each stint. So Avery still has quite a ways to go here. Only 27 laps in. And having come back off pit road on lap 15. See if we can talk to Adam, try and get a hold of Adam Barker again. Hey Adam, it's Doug, you got me?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, obviously a rough start to the morning, but it looks like the car is 100% after extensive repairs.
Yeah, car's still going. Car looks good. Just a little unfortunate going into turn one then, a bit of a traffic jam. Avery managed to get turned around and collected by another car who we were unsighted for. So, yeah, a bit of a shame, but we'll see what we can do. The car directly ahead of us just had a bit of an issue going through the bus stop, so he might be struggling in the pits for a while. So we might be not the last car on track, running on track. So we'll have to see what goes on. Still 23 hours, so a lot still to go.
Well, and looking at the times throughout the GT3 field, you guys are quite a ways up there as far as speed is concerned, especially over the course of the long run. It looks like, at the moment, one of the faster cars out there.
Yeah, I think we've given up already on the fuel conservation, so we're just going fastest laps. We're going to be slightly off with our fuel stops anyway, so the fuel strategy's already out the window. So we're just going for fastest laps, try and get as close to everyone else as we can at this point.
Well, we've seen a couple of the GTPs and LMPs bumping other cars off the track already this morning. How much frustration is there out there with the faster cars amongst the GT3 field?
Yeah, it's just about being smart, really. Like, we know these guys have got a lot more straight line speed, and the downforce through the corners, especially through the bus stop, is they're so much quicker. So it's just about picking your moments, making sure we know what's going on around us, and making it easy for them, giving them an easy way through, showing them what we want to do, so they can take the opposite lane.
Well, it's definitely, you guys have definitely had a few close calls with the faster cars, but been able to navigate it so far. I have to think having 3 or 4 people available and helping spot makes a huge difference right now.
Yeah, it always helps that we can monitor different things at the same time. So we've got someone with Avery telling him what's around, and someone making sure he's aware of the traffic behind. It should get a little bit easier now as the field spreads out a little bit.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting 24 hours having to come from the back. Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, Adam Barker, you heard him. It is no longer the fuel strategy that this team has been known for running that puts them a couple of pit stops less than everybody else. Now it is 100% every lap. You have to wonder, will that strategy, how much ground can they make up? Boy, Luce is excited this morning. Hey, good morning, Butler. The Butler always did it. Yep, doing great. Obviously, a rough start to the race for the team, but does look like a couple of cars are on pit road. A couple of the other GT3 cars now on pit road. Avery is starting to gain some ground on the cars ahead. And that is the overall leader flying by. Once again, man, those GTPs are flying this morning. Does look like Avery got separated from his drafting help. The car ahead has just retired. Does look like Stefan Mann and team have retired from the race, so Avery will pick up another spot. This is definitely one of the things that keeps the team going, as other drivers in class having problems can help them dramatically despite their early incident. Avery about to be swarmed by much faster GTPs. Here they come out of the horseshoe. Avery moving over to let the three of them get by. There is no more exciting moment than when one of those faster cars comes flying by you in the kink. Most of the traffic has cleared Avery for a moment. That'll give him a few moments of breathing before the rest of the field, the rest of the faster cars catch back up. The overall leader also back in clean air for a moment. Meanwhile, the leader of the GT3 field, still the McLaren, has pulled out to an almost 12-second lead over second place. Third and fourth, though, very close together. In fact, third, fourth, and fifth, all right there together. 4th place in the Corvette. Remember, that car had the biggest balance of power change, had the most power reduction coming into this. Next time by, Avery should move up to 22nd in class here in about another lap or so. That Ferrari up ahead that we've seen have so many problems, still running in 20th. But in heavy traffic, and it appears the car is slowed down at the moment, likely picked up a little damage in that last couple of incidents. The next car Avery will run down will be the 21st place car. They are in a Mustang, and we've seen all morning the lack of rear grip on the Mustangs causing problems. And just for fun, as the leader is back into traffic, let's ride along with him. And you can definitely see the difference in power and handling for these GTPs. Down into the kink, full power. Even the super fast LMP just ahead doesn't have enough speed to hold off the leader. Clear track for him yet again. And he is hitting those rumble strips awfully hard. Pulls back up on the back bumper of another GT3 car as heads toward turn 1. And it looks like more traffic ahead for the leader. And a very banged up Audi there sliding out of his way. Now we're at a point in the race where most of the field is going to be on and off pit road at different times. Likely going to see a lot of cars coming off pit road every few laps. Remember, every class has a different amount of fuel load, different amount of horsepower. Their pit strategies are all completely different. More cars come into pit road this time. And looks like a few cars starting to exit pit road. That could be a problem over the next few laps. And surprisingly, we thought he had retired. 22nd place, Stefan Mann is back on track. Does appear his car is fixed. He is out ahead of Avery, but less than a lap ahead, and Avery is closing the gap. Another GT3 car has just crashed. Let's see what happened. Coming through, the horseshoe gets loose and loses the back end. Also lost a couple of spots, and there's been a series of incidents. Oh, holy cow, he is trying to navigate his way through, and a big wreck. Oh, and the Conliff car barely skates through that. Watch this closely. There you see the faster car tries to navigate through, just gets a little squirrely. Hard hit up top, and Avery just barely makes it through. Riding along with Avery Walker. He sees the smoke ahead. His team alerts him. He drives under the body panels. Gets the car through safely. That has put a couple of GT3 cars onto pit road. 17th and 19th place, both on pit road at the moment. Wow, what a close call. See if we can get a word with one of the other drivers, Nick Sorensen. Hey Nick, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey Doug, what's up?
Hey, bit of a brown pants moment there.
Yeah, I'm watching that. Watching the replay on here and trying to see what happened. Looks like a GTP driver just gets into the back of one of the LMP2s and then causes a spin out.
Yeah, there was one of those gap car deals, but man, a very close call. Avery, a very close call, but manages to make it through.
Yeah, we were shouting out, hey, heads up, there's a spin, and he was able to slow down enough to basically go right between and avoid anything.
It was definitely close. We looked at several different angles, including riding along. He did not have a lot of visibility to it just due to the coming through the turn there, but a great teamwork to get him slowed down, and he managed to make it through that.
Yeah, that certainly helped him. We were calling that out, and he got slowed down. That's great.
Well, now on to the rest of the race. Still a lot of ground to make up, but I think after that incident, several GT3s are headed in or are on pit road already for repairs.
Yeah, it's just such a long race. You never know what can happen. It's unfortunate that we got put behind, but just keep the foot down, try to make up what you can, and hope for some incidents like that to gain some spots back.
Well, Matt, hopefully it continues to go y'all's way. Great job so far.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Yeah, wish us luck.
Nick Sorensen will be taking the car later on this afternoon. They are definitely hoping for some more of those incidents to keep them moving forward. Avery has faster cars coming by yet again. As it does look like a lot of the GTP field is on pit road. Several of them on their way back out. Several of them have just hit pit road. Could be in a situation here in a moment with these cars coming to pit road. Avery could meet a few of them coming out of turn one, plus he has some faster cars back behind closing in. Moves over, lets the faster car have the inside into turn one. Avery definitely has his hands full at the moment coming through the infield. And again, that faster car through the kink is always worrisome. Looks like another incident on track a moment ago. Coming back out onto the banking and on the power. Wow. 180 and recovers it quickly, but that's going to set him back. And a close call considering all the traffic coming from behind. Avery lets the McLaren by, not a battle for position. Could utilize that McLaren to draft up a little bit. Several GT3s currently on pit road. Looks like in for repairs could be huge for this team. As Avery continues to close the gap on 22nd place, Stefan Mann. It'll be interesting to see over the next 24, well now 22 and a half hours, how the new strategy plays out. Remember, the original strategy had them conserving fuel to make 2 less pit stops than everybody. Oh, close call just ahead. Looked like the 2 faster cars did a little bumping through turn 1. Looking down on Avery from the blimp. And it's easy to see the speed difference overhead just as it is from in the car. You see how much quicker the GTPs and LMPs really are. Not only do they have more downforce and more power, they outbrake the GT3s. They're lighter. They can wait till much, much later to get on the brakes. And they are back on the power a lot sooner. More cars coming back off of pit road. A little bit of a traffic jam through the horseshoe. Remember, any problem on track could impact this team and could get them moving back toward the front. Leader still out front, but the second place after the first pit stop is now right on the bumper. As they navigate their way through heavy traffic. And a multi-car crash has happened behind. Side by side, off into turn 1. Oh! Big hit. They quickly get it going again. I'm willing to bet both of those cars are back on pit road very soon, as both of them, banged into something. Both of them had some form of contact and will likely need some repairs. And once again, both of them just ahead of Avery. Despite the one incident Avery has been in this morning, quite a few close calls. And Avery is headed in. Looks like we might be seeing the driver change. Avery hits his pit stall. The car is up. 4 tires and fuel. Will we see the driver change, or will we see Avery take another fuel run? Car is down. Looks like just topping off on fuel. No driver change yet. Avery Walker is away. He'll run one more stint. Back off of pit road he comes. Traffic behind. Obviously, the same glitch we saw early on has decided to plague us once again. Avery still holds 23rd in Class 50, 5th overall. As the first 2 hours wind down, as we mentioned, later tonight the Unicorn will be performing surgery with Surgeon Simulator, and we'll be back for the final 2 hours of Daytona tomorrow morning. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you're following on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll provide updates over the next few hours. And we'll look forward to seeing you again tonight. Have a great day, everybody.